Hi guys, I'm Hope. Welcome back to Gem Baller Media. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Hope, your host of Gem Baller Media, the hub in the gem of men's college basketball. So in today's video, we're going to be covering number 17 Texas A&M versus number 11 Purdue. The game is not being played directly at Purdue, but it's being played in Indiana, so technically a neutral court. But let's be real, it's going to be mostly Indiana fans. I will say though, the Aggies have a crazy fan base, so there definitely will be some Aggies there. So anyways, let's just get right on into it. We're gonna dive into Texas A&M first, a little rundown of the team. So far this season, they've beat Rutgers, Texas Tech. They held Wake Forest to 47 points, which shows they have a good defense. They also beat Creighton, who just beat Kansas. However, I will say that was during the time that Stephen Ashworth was out. So Creighton is a night and day different team with Stephen Ashworth on the court. So keeping that in mind, they still beat Creighton though. I will say though, all in all, Texas A&M has had a lot of tests so far this year. They've had a lot of tests so far this season, and they have delivered on many of them, showing that they are capable of playing high division teams because they are a high division team. However, they did lose to Oregon 80-70. I think Oregon's ranked 13th right now. However, losing by 10 points to Oregon shows that there is a margin between Oregon and Texas A&M, but the fact they are playing Oregon this early in the season is still great for them. Won't hurt their resume at all, as it's good to be playing hard teams during this stretch of the season so far. So let's get into the key players for Texas A&M. If you've watched A&M at all in the recent years, Wade Taylor may be a familiar name. Pretty sure he's their point guard. He is an amazing player, averaging over 20 a game, very enjoyable to watch. He is going to be dependent on if A&M wins this game. They also have Zurich Phelps, Jace Carter. All of these players are guards, which is important to know. Having all your best players be guards is pretty typical, but that does mean that it is a pretty general consensus that whatever team has the best guards is who's going to win the game. So it's kind of going to be Texas A&M guards versus Purdue guards, who's going to win. So overall though, I will say A&M plays their competition's level, just even by looking at the score lines between the teams that they've played. However, unless they're not able to play up to the caliber of the certain teams, such as Oregon, that score was not representative of playing up because they lost by 10. But however, against Rutgers, they scored 81, but when they played Wake Forest, they only scored 57. So it just goes to show that they play to their competition's weaknesses and strengths at the same time. It's a really weird concept. I just feel like that does show a little bit of a lack of consistency, which can be concerning when you're playing a good Purdue team, but also like they could step up and play really well on basically a away court. So we'll see. Going into Purdue, I will start out by saying I've never been a Purdue fan. I will not be biased at all in this, but I like to add my own little spin on it. I've never been a Purdue fan. It's always just been something about them that like bothers me. I know Duke is like that, UNC's like that. Just don't like Purdue. But however, putting that aside, truly, this year they have been underwhelming for like a typical basketball watcher. The world of college basketball, I think, has been underwhelmed by Purdue this year. It's just hard when you go from having 7'2" Zach Edey and then you just don't have him anymore. The program feels different. This year they've lost to Penn State, who respectfully is 8-2. I'm not disqualifying or discounting how Penn State is good this year. Just in general, you never hear the narrative of Purdue losing to Penn State, especially by 11 points. So keeping that in mind, Purdue is 9-2 this year so far. They're also number 11. Some key players for them: Trey Kaufman-Renn, Braden Smith. We all know him if you love him or if you don't. Camden Heide, Fletcher Lawyer. Those are just some key players to keep an eye on. Some quality games Purdue has played this year. They beat number 18 Ole Miss on a neutral court during Thanksgiving by 2, which Ole Miss is decent this year. They're ranked right now. I'm pretty sure they're like 19th. They beat a really good Maryland team at home by 5, which I think is a quality win for sure. Besides that, they really haven't played anybody, which I feel like is very unlike Purdue. I feel like every season they have like Kentucky. I'm making up these names, but it'll be like Kentucky, Baylor, Rutgers, Gonzaga, like all back to back. And you're like, take a breather. But they're kind of playing some nobodies this year, which is a little bit interesting. With that being said, though, the over-under when I did all my research was 145.5, and then Purdue was favored by 1.5. I don't really go by the spread. I kind of just go by how I personally feel. I do use it if it's out for reference, so I do think that Purdue wins. I just think the fact that it is basically a home game, I don't know. I just feel like Texas A&M hasn't had a standout win. Maybe this will be it. I'm not sure. But I will say that I feel that Purdue's going to cover the spread and they're going to win 73-70. Going to have a 3-point win over Texas A&M. Let me know what you guys think below. And there are going to be a lot more videos about the games coming up this weekend, so make sure you subscribe to Gem Baller Media, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.